Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action. Y'all know what we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day. It's a money-making Friday rolling into a money-making weekend. We smashed our play of the day yesterday with the Oklahoma City Thunder buddies, man. Shout out them boys. That brings us to 6-1-2, last 9 on our NBA play of the day. Yes, 6-1-2, last 9. And we're trying to get to 7-1-2, last 10 on that play tonight. Been seeing the board extremely well on that play, trying to keep that momentum rolling forward. It's a Friday, though. And as I always say on Friday, the best thing to do, hop on a 3-day pass. When you hop on that money-making weekend pass, you get every single play through the entire weekend that I give out, every single sport. NBA, college football, college hoops, NFL, hockey, wherever I'm active, man, you get every single play for the weekend, one low price. Hop on one of those. Let's make some money this weekend. NBA in-season tournament day, man. You know what today is. We finna try to smash it per usual. I'm finna cook up every single game per usual, man. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video, man. Smash that like button for your guy and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's make some money tonight. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, man. First game up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets getting 7.5 points at the crib. Short, sweet, simple, man. We're looking to continue to fade the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Currently the worst ATS team in the NBA at 2-8-1 against the number. Yes, they did get a win and cover in their last one out on the road against the Toronto Raptors, but it's the Raptors. The Raptors are on the do not bet list for a reason. They always find a way to let you down when you bet them. So I wasn't all that surprised Milwaukee went in there and beat them, even without Giannis. Giannis is a game-time decision for this one tonight as well. I would probably wait to put my bet in for his news because if we do get the news that he's in, I think this line is going to grow to double digits, and I would want the double digits. If he's out, then, I think the Hornets can compete anyway. The line probably going to stay about where it's at. So short, sweet, simple, I'm taking the Hornets. I usually like to take bad teams in these in-season tournament type games. I just can't trust Milwaukee to lay these type numbers. They don't play the defense to warrant that. They're probably going to be up double digits at some point in this game, and they're going to give up some meaningless baskets in the third, and they're going to look up with 2 minutes left in the fourth, and they're up 2. That's the style of basketball they've played thus far this season. I think the Hornets offensively can and will compete tonight. I like having a bundle of points in my back pocket with the home team in an in-season tournament game where I'm looking to look at bad teams anyway. I think it's in a good spot, man. If we continue to fade Milwaukee at these high numbers for the majority of the season, at the end of the season, I think we're going to be able to look back and be like, damn, that was one of our favorite money-making spots, just fading Milwaukee. We look to do that. So here tonight, give me the Hornets plus the points. Here in this one. Next game up, man, we got the New York Knicks out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Wizards home dogs getting 7.5 points at the crib. This is how I think about this game. Are the Knicks a better team? Yes. Should they win by this margin? Probably. But do I feel comfortable laying damn near double digits, 7, 8 points with Washington out on the road? With New York out on the road? No, I don't. We've only seen them win by this margin out on the road once this year. It was against Cleveland early in the year when Cleveland was banged up. And quite honestly, the Knicks own Cleveland. They bullied them in the postseason last year, and they brung them same tendencies into this season. We were on the Knicks in that game, so I wasn't all that surprised that they beat up Cleveland. Other than that, their road games thus far this season have been fairly close and competitive, and I think that's basically what we're looking at here in this one. Is betting the Wizards fun? No, I always say that. Betting the Wizards is not fun. There's probably going to be stretches in this game where you're sitting there like, man, I got money on the Wizards. Why did I do this? But in the end, in my mind, I just think the Knicks win this game by 5 points. I do. I could see a bounce-back game here from Poole and Kuzma. I think that offensively they can do enough to keep this one fairly close. And, yes, we've seen the Knicks beat up and run teams out of the gym in Madison Square Garden. But we've only seen them do that once on the road. And I think these are the certain spots where we can and will cash betting the Wizards. They're 5-6 against the number right now. I know they're 2-9 straight up, but they're 5-6 against the number. We can and will make spots betting them. I think tonight is one of those. I think this is a 5-point win for the Knicks when it's all said and done, and that's enough for the cover here with the Wizards. I'm going to take the home dog plus the points in-season tournament here in this one. Next game up, man, we got the Philadelphia 76ers out on the road facing the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks home favorites laying 1.5 points at the crib. I'm surprised that Atlanta's favored in this one, and I'm trying to understand why. Joel Embiid, game time decision, questionable to play tonight. In my thoughts, I think he plays. He's going to be on the injury report damn near every night, and he's going to play most nights. He was on the injury report last game and played. I think he plays tonight. I'm taking the Sixers. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. When I went back and looked, Philadelphia's won 5 of the last 7 against Atlanta. This is a bounce back spot for the Sixers after losing 2 straight home games. It's not the best spot because they're coming off a significant homestand. It's their first game out on the road in a little minute. And they're kind of banged up as Embiid, is questionable with the hip. But I still think they get this one done, man. I do. I think they beat the Hawks. I'm not overcomplicating this one. I think the Sixers are better than Atlanta. I know Atlanta has looked good in certain spots, but we've also seen them just lose their last home game to the New York Knicks. So I'm going to take the better team, playing the collective better basketball, the team that has been a money-making team thus far this season, the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm expecting Embiid to play. I'm expecting this to be a bounce-back spot. I'm also expecting when the news that Embiid is in, I'm expecting this line to move from +1.5 on the Sixers, probably going to move to like Sixers -2, 2.5. So if you like it like I do, and if you think he plays, I would grab it now. But for me personally, I'm on the Sixers. I think they continue to beat the Atlanta Hawks. Next game up, man, we got the Detroit Pistons out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs laying 8.5 points here in this one. It's a tough game at the time of recording. There's a lot of injury news here in this game, and I think they're key injuries. Let me go through them. Monte Morris is out for the Pistons. Jalen Duren is out. Bagley is a game-time decision, and Isaiah Livers is out for the Pistons. Okoro out for Cleveland. Jerome is out for Cleveland. And then we have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland listed as game-time decisions for this game. Huge injury news with both of those two guys right there. I would want to see what's up with those guys. Cleveland has dominated the Pistons the last 4 meetings. They won the last 4 by double digits, and they've won the last 5 straight up. The thing is, I don't like laying this many points with Cleveland. I don't. It's not the best spot. They're coming off a pretty significant road trip. Just played 4 straight road games. OKC, Golden State, Sacramento, Portland. Did a hide out there. It wasn't all that impressive though. The Pistons, man. Y'all know I like the Pistons. They're kind of like the Wizards. You can bet them in certain spots, but when they lose, it's not fun. They've been competitive for the most part. I know they're losing a ton of games, but they've been competitive. Lost by 2 to Milwaukee, lost by 8 to Philadelphia at home, lost by 9 to Chicago, lost by 6 to Atlanta. I think that's the similar game we see here tonight. I think we see them compete and probably fall just short, and Cleveland wins but doesn't cover. I think that's what we're looking at. Right now, currently, with the news of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland looming, it makes this game hard because if they get listed in, we might get double digits with the Pistons. If they get listed out, then we call it a good value here at 8.5. So whichever you like, as I say, do that. Not one of my favorite games tonight, but I am leaning Detroit Pistons. Cleveland really hasn't shown me much here recently to want to lay this huge of a number with them. 4-7 against the number thus far this season. They have dominated the Pistons recently. They have. But I don't know, man. I ain't feeling them boys. I'm leaning towards Detroit here in this one. Next game up, man, we got the Boston Celtics out on the road facing the Toronto Raptors. Raptors home dogs getting 7.5 points at the crib. Man, I know we were all cussing out the Raptors in just about every language that we can the last game they played, man. They got their doors blown off by Milwaukee, 128-112, a game that they did not have Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that was the biggest head scratcher. How the hell did that happen? Milwaukee has not looked good really at any capacity thus far this season, and you let them come into your gym and run you out of the building. It was disgusting. And I tweeted out that they are permanently on the do not bet list. They've been there for most of the season. I just thought that was a great spot to bet them last game, and they bit me in the ass. We've already seen the Celtics blow the doors off them once this season, 117-94. That game was in Boston. Boston is rolling right now. They've won 4 straight. Beat up on Brooklyn, beat up on Toronto, beat up on New York, and beat up on Philly. They've won their last 4 games by double digits. They're hooping right now, man. As I've said for most of the season, I think Boston is the best team in the NBA. I do. If I had to pick an NBA Finals champion right now today, it would be the Celtics. With that being said, they're banged up. Porzingis, game time decision. Horford, game time decision. Jaylen Brown, game time decision. I hate to tell y'all this. I really, really do. I know they're on the do not bet list, but if I'm being 1,000% honest, like if I'm being 100% honest, I really think the Raptors are the play tonight. I really do. Do I have the stomach to bet it? Right now, currently at the time of this video, I don't know. But I honestly do believe the side in this game is Toronto. I think that they magically snap out of whatever little funk that was that they were in against Milwaukee, and I think they compete here with Boston. I can see this kind of being that flat spot for Boston out on the road. Boston probably beats them in the end, but Toronto, I think they compete, man. We've seen them do this a couple times this season where they lost and then came right back and bounced back. I don't love it, guys. I really, really don't. But in all honesty, I come here to tell you guys what I think is the right side. And as much as I hate the Raptors, as much as I love the Celtics, I think tonight in Toronto, where the Raptors usually play their best basketball, getting this many points in our back pocket, I honestly think it's the play. Next game up, man, we got the Sacramento Kings out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs at the crib getting 7.5 points at home. Let's start with San Antonio in this one, man. Hey, they have not looked good recently. Let's just call a spade a spade. They just got their doors blown off by the Thunder Buddies, 123-87. Lost 2 home games in a row to Miami and Minnesota. Competed in those games, but lost them both. And then prior to that, the Knicks and the Pacers both took them behind the woodshed. 126-105 and 152-111. The Kings, they have gotten De'Aaron Fox back. They have now won 4 straight. 3 of their last 4 have been at the crib, though. You know, they just played Portland, OKC, and Cleveland all at home, but they did go out on the road and beat up on the Lake Show, 125-110. I think they go in here and beat up on the Spurs. We've been fading the Spurs a good amount here recently, and I think we continue to do so. They're banged up right now. Vassell, one of their best players, he's out. Keldon Johnson, game-time decision. Trey Jones, game-time decision. The Kings got their motor back, their engine. They were the most profitable ATS road team last year. I think they win this game by double digits. They're playing good basketball right now, and I think they keep it rolling. I like what I'm seeing from Sacramento. We just saw Sabonis eat Anthony Davis's lunch. I think he comes in here and eats Wemby's as well. I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in this league. I like the Kings. We're going to make money on the Kings. We like to usually bet them on the road in these type situations, and I think they come in here and run these boys out the gym. I know San Antonio has played their best basketball at home this season, but I still think in the end they lose this game by double digits. So give me the Kings, lay the points, out on the road. They're the better team, playing the better basketball. I think they keep it rolling. Next game up, man, we got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Chicago Bulls. Bulls favored in this game by 1.5. We just saw the Magic control the game the entire way through the other day. The two teams just played the other day. The Magic did win that game 96-94. It came down to pretty much a game winner from Banchero, but they controlled the game the most of the way through. Chicago finally went on a little run late in the game, but fell just short in the end. Those are the worst. When you are down big, you come all the way back and still lose. Yeah, those are pretty bad. We had the Magic in that game, and we're taking the Magic here again in this one. Short, sweet, simple. Again, hey, fading the Bulls has been one of our favorite things to do thus far this season, and we look to continue to do so. This team is on the cusp of blowing up. Any day now, they're going to trade somebody. And we just look to continue to fade them until they do so. DeMar DeRozan, also game-time decision for this one. He did not play last game, so if he does play this game, probably shake things up a bit. It'll probably make Chicago be a bigger favorite, and it's just going to create more value on the Orlando Magic, and we're still going to take them on the money line to go in here and beat Chicago. You know why? Because I honestly believe in my heart that the Orlando Magic are the better team right now today. I think this Bulls team is only going to be this Bulls team that we know of for maybe a week or two max. And, yeah, short, sweet, simple. I like the Magic in this one. I think they beat them for the second straight time. And, yeah, that's my thoughts here in this one. All right, next game up, man, we got the Denver Chicken Nuggets, the defending champs, out on the road facing the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans home dogs getting 4.5 points at the crib. The Nuggets, man, they're hooping. They done won 4 of their last 5. Where was that done, though? At the crib. Where, what do we always say? They go stupid, dummy, crazy. The Nuggets always win at home. They do not lose at home. Very rarely will the Nuggets lose a game at home. On the road, that's where they lose. They're a 50-50 team out on the road. They lost the same amount of games as they won last year out on the road. So that's where we usually look to fade these boys. They blew the doors off the Pelicans earlier this season, 134-116. That game was in Denver, though. Where was their last loss? It was 2 games ago. It was out on the road to a Houston Rockets team that has showed that they have started to play better basketball at home. I think this is a similar situation to that, man. I think that the Pelicans in a revenge spot beat the Nuggets at home. We just saw the Pelicans in a revenge spot beat the Mavs at home, and I really liked what I saw from them in that game. I watched most of that game. As you guys know, I love watching my Mavs basketball. You could say the Mavs didn't play their brand of basketball that game, or you could say the Pelicans caused them to do that. Zion and Ingram, they're healthier than they've been at any point thus far this season. And I kind of think they are a live dog in this one. I really do. I love the points in my back pocket rather than taking the money line, but I think they have a serious chance of winning this game straight up. The Nuggets, they're 9-2. Fading these boys to lose outright is not very fun. But ATS, thus far this season, they're 5-6 against the number, and they're vulnerable on the road. And I think this is a good spot to jump off the wagon of the Nuggets. Not the best spot for them, coming off a pretty significant homestand. We're dominant in that homestand, but have struggled on the road thus far this season. I think the Pelicans, again, are a live dog. I'm going to grab the points with them in my back pocket in a revenge spot. I like what I saw from them last game, and I think some of that momentum can possibly carry over into this one. Next game up, man, we got the Phoenix Suns out on the road facing the Utah Jazz. Jazz getting 5.5 points at the crib in this one. We've already seen these two teams play once this season. The Suns did beat up on Utah 126-104. That game was in Phoenix. It was earlier this season. It was back in October. Phoenix looked really good in their last game, beating up on Minnesota. Minnesota was hot as fish grease coming into that game. They were on the back end of a back-to-back, though. Phoenix took care of them. Utah has won back-to-back games over the 2 worst teams in the NBA, Memphis and Portland. I'm not overcomplicating this one, man. I think the Suns win this game. They probably win it comfortably. I think they're head and shoulders the better team. Still some injury news for this one. Bradley Beal probably won't play, per usual. He's doubtful. But Devin Booker, he's game time decision, but he probably will play. So I think the Suns get back to 500 here. They probably do it fairly comfortably. The Jazz, betting them in certain situations, you can make money, but what I've seen from them for most of the season, when they play the bad teams, they usually win and cover. When they play the good teams, they usually get beat. They're not a hard team to figure out. I think they're playing a good team tonight, and I think they get beat. Probably not as dominantly as they got beat the first time, but I don't think they cover here. I see this as an 8-9 point win for the Suns. That's enough for the cover. I'm going to take Phoenix out on the road here in this one. Next game up, man, we got the Lake Show out on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lakers laying 8.5 points in this one, and I don't think they should be laying 8.5. What have we seen from the Lakers thus far this season to say, hey, double-digit win for these boys out on the road? Nothing. We haven't seen anything to suggest that they've really been terrible out on the road, in all honesty, and I'm not laying double digits with them out there. I can't do it. So, short, sweet, simple. We're grabbing the points with the Blazers. Yes, the Lakers have already beaten the Blazers once this season. That game was in Los Angeles, where the Lakers have played their best basketball. And even then, they didn't beat them by this margin. They beat them by 6 there. They're pretty banged up right now as well. Anthony Davis, game-time decision. LeBron James, game-time decision. But Vanderbilt is out. Gabe Vincent is out. I'm expecting LeBron and AD to both play tonight. I expect the Lakers to win this game tonight, but no way in hell can I lay this amount of points with a team that has played the way they've played out on the road, a team that has gone through the motions like we've seen them do, a team that looked as bad as they did in their last game. I think the Blazers can and will keep this game within the number. I'm going to grab the points with Portland. Short, sweet, simple. Here in this one. In our last and final game of the night, man, we got the Houston Rockets out on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers laying 7.5 points at the crib. Hey, man, I don't even understand this line. I don't understand it. I don't. And I'm not finna try to. I'm taking the Rockets plus the points, and I'm also putting some on the money line, bro. Short, sweet, simple. The Clippers, we're going to continue to fade this team, man. This is a hype train of all hype trains, and we're going to continue to fade it like we've been doing. It's really that simple. This team has lost now, 6 straight? Now they're laying 7.5 points. They're coming off a pretty significant road trip. They have not looked good, man. Last time we saw them at home, they lost outright to the Memphis Grizzlies. Now they're supposed to beat one of the hottest teams in basketball by double digits. Man, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I don't like that the Rockets are coming off of a long homestand. You know, they just play, 5 or 6 straight home games. But the thing is they've been off for damn near a week. They haven't played since the 12th. So they've had 5 days of rest. They're going to come in here really fresh. I think they beat them. I think the Rockets win this game straight up. I'm grabbing the points in my back pocket. I'm taking them straight up on the money line. We don't get these spots very often. The better team playing the better basketball as 7.5-point dogs? Stop it. We got to fade the hype train. The Clippers, man, I really believe it's the right play. And I believe everybody going to be humping up on the Clippers today, believing that today's finally the wake-up spot. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Going to continue to fade these boys. Give me the Rockets plus the points and money line here in our last and final game of the night. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam Session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. Link for that in the description if you guys want to follow me there. And of course, I got premium plays over at the site. Our NBA play of the day, we've been red hot on that play, man. 6-1-2, last 9 on that play. We're seeing the board really well. We smashed it last night with the Oklahoma City Thunder buddies. Shout out them boys, man. We try to go 7-1-2 on that play tonight, trying to keep that momentum rolling forward. Hey, it's a Friday, though. Y'all know the best thing to do on a Friday. Hop on a 3-day pass. When you hop on a 3-day pass, you get all my plays for today, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is a money-making weekend. Hasn't been the best last 2-3 days for us, last 2 days. But we look to get back on track this weekend and absolutely dominate. It's been an extremely great month. And we're just trying to keep that momentum rolling forward. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video. If you want the All Access Club, you guys know how to get that. And then, yeah, man, let's make some money tonight. Shout out to all y'all boys. In-season tournament day, money-making Friday, rolling into a money-making weekend. Let's smash the books. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See y'all soon. I'm out of here. Peace.